I want to talk about what quitting drinking looks like after like 20 years. Now, this is my own personal experience. I know it varies by person to person on an individual basis. But I didn't really I experimented with alcohol when I was younger, like a teenager in high school, but it didn't really get like serious until I turned 21. Because after I turned 21, I started bartending and I knew nothing about alcohol at the time. I knew that Bud Light was beer and Bacardi was rum, and that's it. So, of course, like with any job, you have to learn all sorts of new stuff. Well, I had to learn about liquor and beer and wine and drink recipes and like new equipment and just everything. And a natural progression just was like the idea of consuming alcohol on a regular basis just because it like became part of my job. And I know you don't like have to drink to bartend, but like that's just where I was at. So by the time I turned 25, like I was all in. It became my whole identity, and I just was having so much fun at work. I was making all the money, just like meeting new people, throwing a party every time I worked. Like I was living it up. Then by the time I turned like 28, 29, I left that bartending job to go bartend somewhere else. But the new place was like way more of a party scene. And it wasn't until like my, I don't know, like mid 30s where I kind of was like, okay, maybe this isn't like sustainable in like the bigger picture. Because at that point, like consuming alcohol was just like a normal everyday like way of life, whether it was just getting off work and having drinks or having shots with customers like while I was working. But at that point, I just kind of knew that eventually like I wanted to get out of the environment because like just consuming alcohol on a regular basis, like, and we know as we get older, the hangovers get worse. But I didn't really like know what it would look like to get out of that environment just because I had done it for so long and that's all I really knew. It was a huge part of my life. So it was a couple years ago when I decided that I was going to try like moderating and just cutting way back and just being more mindful around my drinking. And what I learned during those times of spending time, like a long period of time away from drinking, is just how bad the alcohol was affecting my mental health. Like I had no idea how bad it was until like I removed it for quite some time. And spending time not drinking has like really forced me to kind of work on some inner shit and some trauma that was left unhealed for years. And I realized that I can't like continue to grow and continue to move forward and become this new version of myself if I am still drinking. So now I decided to leave my bartending job. I don't really know what my life is going to look like. I just know that I couldn't continue down that path. And it hasn't been easy at all because it was such a huge part of my life for so long, like 20 some years. And it's like I'm leaving this old part of myself behind. But every day I get stronger and every day it gets a little easier.